in the Divide, where we're sharing all things crypto together with Alogrand. Hopefully, you're enjoying this day. Everything is good with you. The markets, they be a changing. Uh, we have to understand, look, if you've been in a situation where you've been in this market for any time, sometimes you just have to take the good with the bad and the bad with the good and know how to stretch it and keep going forward. The markets are treating us good. So, why is the market treating us good? Everybody has an opinion. Some people say because the Fed is not raising rates, there's a signal that they may be dropping rates, which I doubt based on market factors and things of that. It's not financial advice, but it's something you need to pay attention to. Another thing is everybody's euphoric about market conditions because they're trying to figure out if there's going to be a BTC, Bitcoin ETF, coming out. And on the heels of that, there may be an Ethereum ETF out. So, why is that a good thing? That means institutional investors are going to be pumping money into the market, into those things. More money goes into crypto, the more legitimized this thing becomes. The function of it becomes more and more apparent. You're not going to be able to roll this stuff back because now the economy is dependent on it. Now it's structuring itself to where it's part of the overall market where right now with inflation and all this different metrics that's going on, the market needs some added boost, some umph, and this is what's going to do it. Crypto is going to be the thing that changes in this time where economy really needs something to flood in, like the internet. It's going to cause um, new money to move. It's going to cause new systems of money to start rolling in. You need to start looking at things in this way to where you're going to be able to benefit from a lot of things that's going on in the market. If you realize now is the time to be proactive on some things. So I want to show you some things. Don't want to keep you too long, but let me share some things. Let me share my screen with you. And this is one of the things that I look at. It's an overview of the blockchain. This is from Mazari. Gives you overviews of um, um, Algorand, and this is the third quarter. And I want to show you some things, and it's gonna look horrible, and the trends is not your friend. But I need to kind of get you some information so you can see all the stuff that the metrics that they have. But I want to start by here. There's some good news in the whole overall crypto, uh, but you have to understand too that what goes up must come down. But you don't want to catch the falling knife. So what I'm showing you here is that this is Algorand's total value lock. And as you can see, it's from about July the 22nd to September to 20, July 22 to September of this year of 23. And you see how the metrics has fallen. Now, you have to understand there was a more of a bullish market uh, in 2022. There were some market factors. You see this steep dip where um, there was some situation going on at the end of November That was when markets was falling, of course. It rebounded and it's been going, it went up to a normal market and it's been cratering ever since because the markets have been running flat for a while now. I want you to pay attention to in July 2023, there was a big dip where it seemed like the liquidity was flushed out of the market. Something impacted the market really good. And that was when the former AlgoFi, who was a big DeFi in this space, and you can see all that green, went and closed up shop. The liquidity was now almost cut in half just with that one thing. Some people call it rug pull. I just call it um, a very mismanaged site. I want to almost attribute it to not a FTX, but some of these things in the market um, has some extreme risk to it because a lot of these DeFi places are not, we don't have a lot of history, a lot of understanding on who these people are behind it. And a lot of times, if you don't have a good tra- track record, um, these people who create these things are susceptible to not being able to manage money, have a system in place which maximizes where you can keep making money. Sometimes they put so much in on the front end. And this is why I want to make sure those who are listening into this, when you have a project, you have to always be very, very careful, very, very um, um, perceptive, and looking when uh, the thing that you're looking at, the project that you're investing in, that they want to now come out with a token. All right. There has to be reasons for the token as far as it has to be more than just raising more capital because you want the first initial project to be able to be marketable and raising enough capital. If there's something that you have where you don't have a nice track record of it sustaining itself, and then the projects now on the second hand wants to start pumping out tokens, all they're trying to do is uh, try to get more liquidity, a secondary liquidity source. And usually, I don't want to say a lot of times, but that could be a red flag. A lot of times, we have to really start monitoring and doing more of a deep dive when people and projects come out with a secondary coin. But that was AlgoFi. But as we get now to the get nitty gritty of what we're doing, is we surging in the markets. Algorand EFT rewards skyrocket, transactions surge. So of course, it's almost easy to get a surge in this bear market because everything is so depressed. But Algorand has added at least 100,000 new 100,000 or 100 million new wallets in the third quarter. So there's some definite trend lines where we're pumping up, that we're showing up um, as far as Algorand is concerned. But I want you to understand and keep these things in mind because look at this here. As you probably would see here, since Algorand is pumping, you see it's up 10%. Now, this is very, very impressive because even with all the sell pressure, Algorand has been on a moving tear from its low. It was pretty low here. Let me do this here. Let's do the week average here. As you can see here, how did it go? When it go month? Ugh, stupid thing. So, as you can see here, November 15th, we have bottomed out to 8.80, 8 cents, low, low, low nine. And from about the 18th, we have been had steady pressure on the upside where we've been having a push. So it has been following other markets as far as Bitcoin and some of the other things that has been going green. Now you have to understand if you bought at 8 cents or 9 cents, some people want to take profits and therefore quashing the amount of upsell up pressure on it. But I've noticed on this time there's been less sell pre- sell pressure because I think that Algorand has been down more than other coins. So I think a lot of people had a chance to buy at the 9 and 10 price range, 11-ish price range. So right now, I think a lot of people are still, you know, at an even level of recovery. So I think if it went to maybe 15 to 18 cents, then you get the spy pressure where I think that you will get a more heavy resistance around 15 to 18 cents. But it's been bearish news. So I need you to understand so that you start taking in account some of these market pressures in what you're looking at as far as your wallet. Also, I want you to start looking at some other things because going into next year, um, some of the things that's going to be a nice thing to look at is some of the game tokens, Axie Infinity, uh, um, some of the mana uh, 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 tokens. Look at for your game things because you want to. They're going to be pretty cheap and um, before everything starts skyrocketing. Take a note, take a little pill, and do some little due diligence on that, and you may find yourself in a pretty nice position because these things have to come around at some time. And like I said, beginning of the year, depending on what the market does, depending on what's going on. Understand the market, the Dow Jones, and all that stuff is not like the regular economy. People think, well, if the regular economy is doing this, the economy in the stock market is purely speculative. They're trying to find what things are going to do as far as long term, short term. What is the effect of the market? What are the effects of policies? What are the effects of the global economics? Is how is it affecting the market? What policies are affecting the market? So there's a lot larger information set that people are using. And then if you can find some information, you can pinpoint a sector of the technology, a sector of the economy that may do better or worse. So you who are in crypto, you should be doing the same thing. You know the market. If you find that you can get some information as far as what the market is doing and what is about to happen in the market based on what you understand the market, maybe you should look into some doing some things in, you know, a certain token that does something that is relative to the market, whether it's finance, whether it's game, whether it's storage. It's time to start looking at the crypto market like the stock market and start looking at some of the places where you should be able to benefit if you understand and been in the market, been in the space for a time. It's time for us to start looking and using our heads and making taking advantage of the history and what we know in the market. So this is Sam Houston. Hopefully that you have your bag still secure, and we're hoping that your tomorrows are better than your today. And we are out. See you tomorrow.